Well, here we go. I got another crazy story sent in to me. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my cheating ex-wife's portion of our daughter's wedding? Buckle up, folks. This is a long one. I, 52 male, have been divorced from my ex-wife, she's 51, for almost 15 years. We have two kids together, our daughter, 26, who's getting married, and our son, 23. The divorce wasn't pretty. Long story short, she had an affair with her boss. It lasted for over a year before I found out. I won't go into the gory details, but it was messy, really messy. When we split, I got primary custody of the kids. That doesn't happen often. A man getting primary custody of the kids, but not impossible. They were 11 and 8 at the time. Ex-wife moved in with her affair partner, who she later married. That's gotta be tough. She had visitation every other weekend and some holidays. I busted my ass as a single dad, working overtime to make sure the kids had everything they needed. It wasn't easy, but we made it work. Fast forward to now, my daughter's getting married in 6 months. She's marrying a great guy, and I couldn't be happier for her. The problem? The wedding cost. My daughter and her fiance sat down with me last week to discuss the budget. They're planning a lavish affair. Destination wedding in Hawaii, 200 guests, the works. Total cost, around $75,000. What? $75,000? That is absolutely ridiculous. Go down to the courthouse. Yeah, I know, insane. Here's where it gets tricky. Traditionally, the bride's family covers most wedding costs. My daughter asked if I'd be willing to split the cost with her mom, 50-50. That's $37,500 each. I nearly choked on my coffee. Now, I'm not hurting for money. I've done well for myself over the years, but $37,500 is still a huge chunk of change. I told my daughter I'd think about it and get back to her. I called my ex-wife to discuss it. First civil conversation we've had in years. She seemed on board at first until I mentioned the price tag. Then she dropped a bombshell. She and her husband, the former affair partner, are broke. Apparently, his business went under last year. They're barely keeping their heads above water. She asked if I could cover her half too, just this once. Nope, I wouldn't do it. She is going to have to figure this one out. For our daughter's sake, I'll be honest, I saw red. All those years of her living it up while I scraped by as a single dad came flooding back. I told her there was no way in hell I was covering her share, that she needed to figure it out on her own. Yep, just like I said. She started crying, saying I was being cruel, that I was punishing our daughter for past mistakes. I hung up on her. I called my daughter back and explained the situation. Told her I'd be happy to contribute $37,500 towards the wedding, but I wasn't going to pay a cent more. If she wanted the big Hawaii wedding, she and her fiance would need to cover the rest or scale back their plans. My daughter didn't take it well. She accused me of being selfish and holding on to grudges. Said I was ruining her dream wedding. That if I really loved her, I'd make it happen. We ended the call with her in tears. Now my son's involved too. He's on my side. Says sis is being unreasonable. But he's worried about family drama overshadowing the wedding. Keeps pushing me to be the bigger person and just pay for the whole thing. Man, that's tough. My current wife thinks I'm totally justified. Says my ex is trying to manipulate me through our daughter, but she's worried about the strain this is putting on my relationship with our girl. So here I am, Reddit. Am I the a-hole for refusing to cover my ex's share of the wedding cost? Am I letting old resentments cloud my judgment? Or am I right to stand my ground? Edit. Well, didn't expect the responses at all. I really didn't. Here's where we are at. Number 1. Yes, I'm sure the wedding actually cost $75,000. I've seen the itemized budget. Destination weddings are expensive, especially in Hawaii. Plus, my daughter has champagne taste. Always has. 2. No, I haven't paid any child support since the divorce. I had primary custody, remember? Ex-wife paid me a small amount monthly, but often missed payments. I didn't push it because I didn't want more conflict. 3. For those asking about my daughter's and her fiance's finances, They both have decent jobs, but also some student loan debt. They've saved about $15,000 for the wedding so far. They were counting on their parents to cover the rest. 4. To clarify, I'm not refusing to contribute at all. I'm willing to pay $37,500, which is half the total cost. I just won't cover my ex's half on top of that. Remember, the bitch cheated on me with the same guy she married and is living with him. 5. Several people have asked if I'm still angry about the divorce. Honestly, yeah, there's still some resentment there, but I've moved on with my life. I'm happily remarried. I don't wish my ex ill. I just don't want to bankroll her responsibilities. Good choice. 6. For those suggesting I offer to pay for specific things instead of a lump sum, that's a good idea. I'll bring it up with my daughter when things calm down. Thanks again for all the input, everyone. It's given me a lot to think about. I'll update if anything else changes. Update. Well, things have taken an unexpected turn. I had a long talk with my daughter last night. We both apologized for losing our cool earlier. I explained my perspective. She shared hers. It got emotional, but in a good way. Lots of things came out that we've both been bottling up for years. Turns out she's been feeling guilty about the divorce for a long time. Blames herself for not noticing something was wrong between me and her mom. Says she pushed for the big wedding partly to try and bring the family together, to create some happy memories to balance out the bad ones. It broke my heart to hear that. We talked about more realistic options for the wedding. She admitted the Hawaii plan was probably too extravagant. We're looking at local venues now, which will cut costs significantly. I've agreed to cover the catering and venue rental, whatever they end up being. She and her fiance will handle the rest with their savings and some help from his parents. As for my ex-wife, I reached out to her too. She apologized for putting me in an awkward position, admitted she should have been more responsible with money over the years. She's going to sell some jewelry to contribute what she can to the wedding. It's not much, but it's something. Well, at least she's trying. My son is relieved that we're all talking again. He's offered to DJ the wedding for free as his gift to his sister. Kids Got Talent could save us a few grand there. It's not all smooth sailing. There's still tension, especially between my daughter and my current wife, but we're working on it, taking things one day at a time. So where does this leave us? The wedding's still happening, just on a smaller scale. Everyone's contributing what they can. It's not perfect, but it feels right, like we're finally acting like a family again, dysfunction and all. I want to thank everyone who commented. Your perspectives help me step back and see the bigger picture. This isn't just about money or old grudges. It's about healing and moving forward. I'll post another update after the wedding. Final update. The wedding happened last weekend, and you know what? It was perfect. We ended up having it at a beautiful local vineyard, about 100 guests, intimate but still special. Total cost came in just under $30,000. Damn, that's still a decent amount of money. A far cry from the original $75,000 plan, but no less magical. Here's how the finances shook out. I covered the venue and catering, $15,000. My daughter and her fiance put in their savings, $15,000. My ex-wife sold some jewelry and contributed $3,000. My son DJ'd for free, saved about $2,000. My current wife did all the flowers, another $2,000 saved. The ceremony was beautiful. I walked my daughter down the aisle, saw my ex-wife in the front row, tears in her eyes. For a moment, all the hurts faded away. We were just two parents, proud of the amazing woman we'd raised. The reception was a blast. My son killed it as a DJ. I even shared a dance with my ex-wife. Awkward? A little, yeah, I'll say, but also healing in a way I never expected. My daughter pulled me aside at one point, thanked me for everything, not just for the money, but for listening, for being willing to compromise. Said this was better than any Hawaii wedding could have been, because we were all there, together. I'm not ashamed to admit I teared up a bit. Look, I'm not saying everything's perfect now. There's still plenty of complicated history between all of us. But this wedding, it felt like a new chapter, a chance to redefine our family dynamics. So, final verdict. Was I the asshole for initially refusing to pay my ex's share? Maybe, probably, yeah, okay, I was. But sometimes being called out on your BS is a wake-up call you need. It forced us all to communicate, to reevaluate what really mattered. In the end, we got a beautiful wedding and some long overdue family healing, all for less than half the original budget. Sometimes less really is more. Well, sometimes certain wounds take years to heal. Me personally, I don't think he's fully healed from what his ex-wife did. He says he's healed, but I don't believe it. And the ex-wife is asking for financial help to pay for her portion of the wedding and is living and married to the guy she cheated with. Wow, you can't make this shit up. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.